is interesting, right? So as an immigrant, if you decide to work in Ireland, you can either find work before moving to the country, or you decide to come here, study, and then find work. Now we all find this really challenging. It's not that easy, and we all talk about how to get a job and is it easy or not, etc. But what happens that let's say you find a job, and after that, unfortunately, the company decides to make your role redundant. So if you joined as a software engineer, the company has decided to cut down on the number of software engineers in the company, and unfortunately, you are part of that redundancy. So what happens to your work permit? Are there any benefits to you as a redundant in Ireland? And what are the different steps that you should take in order to have no trouble when it comes to applying for the next employment permit? So in this video, I'll talk about all these things, as these are quite important. And unfortunately, this happened to me with my first employer, and it's important for everyone to know what to do if this happens to you. Now let's look at what are the things that the company has to do. The company now, let's say, has decided to make your role redundant. So the manager first will have to inform you verbally. So the manager will sit you down in a room, let you know about what has happened and why this decision was made. And unfortunately, your role is part of the redundancy decision. In this case, you can do two things. One is you can request to see if you can be added to any other team in the office. So let's say if you're working as a developer and there's a role or a vacancy in a QA team, so you can request that if you have any QA experience as well, you can request if you can be added to the QA team instead of being made redundant. If that's not there, in my case it wasn't there, so the second thing you can do is just accept the decision and move on and start looking for new jobs. Of course, once you're made aware of this, it takes about 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, for the employer to send you a written confirmation of the decision. So once you get an email with the written confirmation that your role has been made redundant, then you get about a month's time. Usually it's at least 2 weeks, but I got a month's time before I leave the company and move on to the next one. So that's the last month in the office, and this is the formality that the company will have to do. And in this decision, you also get some time to, if you want to challenge the decision. So if you think that the decision of making your role redundant was not right, then you also get a chance to hire a lawyer, and you can challenge the decision if you want to. But if you think it was genuine, you just leave it and move on. So this is from the office perspective. Second, everybody gets a work permit, and it is issued one to you and the employer. So there is an online redundancy form that you have to fill up, and along with that, you need to send few documents informing the employment section that you've lost your job, because they issued you a work permit and they think you're still working with that company, but that's not true. You've lost the job. You have to let them know. So what do you need for that? Is first you go to online, fill up the redundancy form. I've shared a link of where do you find this form in the description. Find that there. Along with that, you need three things. One is the certified copy of the work permit, which your employer received when the permit was issued. So you get that copy from your employer, you have your own copy, you need to put these two together. So that's your first document. Second is a letter from your company or your employer stating the last day of your employment in the office. So it is just a confirmation that you are about to be released from the office and your employment has ended or will end soon. So that needs to be on an official letter. Third is a P45. P45 is a tax letter. So that is important because if you end the employment with the company will give you a tax letter. You need to take that, and all these three documents along with the online application form needs to be submitted and sent to the employment department. And once you send that, the duration of sending these documents is 28 days. So since the decision of making you redundant and whatever your last day of employment is, you have to make sure that you notify the department within 28 days. Once you do that, then you're good. The records are clean and you have no problem. So this is from your sending documents perspective. Third is, if you're made redundant, you will be eligible for certain redundancy benefits. I've shared a link, find that where you'll find more details on this. But if you're eligible for redundancy benefits, you will get certain amount of money every month, and from the employer you will get certain amount in one installment if you've worked for at least 23 months with the company, right? So check those links out. It's very important to know, and it might help, because finding the next job is your challenge. You don't know when you find the next job. You have no idea. But what happens to your visa, that is your stamp, you get 6 months to find the next job, and within those 6 months you have to find a job and then apply for a new work permit, which is an employment permit. If you don't find a job in the next 6 months, you need to go back to the GNIB office, notify them that you've not got a job, and then there are next steps, which you can read about on the description, in the description that I've added. But that's pretty much that you need to know. Make sure you're aware of this, and do let others know as well, because when it happens, it's not a good day, it's not a good time, but you need to move on and keep looking for another job. When it happened to me, I've added my own story. It was not a good experience, so I'll make another video in which I'll talk about my story, my experience, and what exactly did I do in order to get the next job, and how it helped me. Please do let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, or on my Facebook page called Learnings and Experiences in Ireland, and I'll try and answer all of them for you. Thank you.